Thai Nipran, Assistant Managing Director from Innovation Security.คุณ Maggie, Investment Associate from PYN Fund Management. And Kun Rami, Vice President Investor Relations from Berlin Sugars. If you're ready, you can start.
Good morning, honorable audience. All the time, we see ads on digital media, but little do we know that even digital media have its own pain points, quite many actually. So standing right here, we must admit that digital media era is now declining. So it's now time for out-of-home. For today, we introduce you with a pure player of out-of-home called Plan B, with the key catalysts of first, leadership in the industry. Second, strong balance sheet, enough to capture the third, new S-curve in engagement marketing. And fourth, ESG premium. All these with a target price of 9.2 baht per share, on the upside of 21.05%. With the strategy of acquisition and diversification, its revenue can be broken down into out-of-home media and engagement marketing. Now let's see what industries look like.
In the midst of Thai economy recovery, the rise on the returns of tourists and the upcoming election, we expect out-of-home to gain the most benefit and can thrive during the digital boom. This can be seen from out-of-home advertising expenditures that aligns with online advertising expenditures and surpasses TV advertising expenditures, which is the mainstream of traditional media. We believe out-of-home to review its outstanding performance, with 90% of consumers return to spend time out of home 6 to 7 hours compared to only 5 to 6 hours during COVID-19. And this even noteworthy given the recoveries of ridership for mass transportations and expressway that reaches 84 and 80% of pre-COVID level, which will draw the attention of advertisers to shift their advertising budget to out of home. Moving to engagement marketing, it is showing the new S-curve with Thai League rebound after the winning of national team that can drive the number of attendance for Thai League to increase by 74%, as well as Thai boxing that is in the booming with the better broadcast time at the prime times and the highest number of matches that increased from 5 to 7 matches per week. Finally, with the resumption of events in 2023, we expect T-pop to bring the highest revenue to the industries.
Now, what about digitized ad techs? Plan B has three major key drivers for internal factors, which are market leaders, synchronization, and magnetic technologies. As Mr. Berlin, the company's CEO and founder, has consolidated the market, now Plan B has occupied 80% of market share in out-of-home media. This allows Plan B to offer a synchronization that creates 40% higher in brand awareness and bundle package that leads to 80% key message recall. Moreover, with Plan B, out-of-home media has evolved to be a smart traditional, being the first place that integrates big data to magnetic technologies, offering customers a performance indicators and profile of the audience with 90% accuracy. We also conduct surveys to make sure of Plan B's competitive advantage, which we found that 82% of our respondents agree that Plan B's are placed in a prime location. 68% of the individuals agree that the most captivating sports series is Rajadamnern World Series, and 86% of institutions agree that Plan B's performance is very satisfied. Now, let's move on to ESG. Plan B leads its peers in terms of transparency and waste reduction, incorporating natural conservation to day-to-day operation. Its environmental policies focus on resource saving through LED system and 3Rs, explaining 7.5% reduction of carbon emission in 2022. Plan B has been using its media as channels for social campaign, which is great opportunities to blend into audience daily journeys and raise social responsibilities. This leading the Plan B's to be a market leaders and also lead Bangkok to be a smart cities in the futures, with two main projects which are smart bus shelters and real-time traffic condition display. Not only it can fill the traffic jams, but also increase the target audience that Plan B can offer to its customers. Industry recognition for its governance. with high disclosures and awards is proof that Plan B has high management standards and transparency over its peers. As a result, ESG would add 5% premium on the intrinsic values.
So what next for Plan B? The company plans on increase the contribution of sport entertainment as they are on the growth level. Meanwhile, with an excess capacity, Plan B is ready to push forward with media usage, follow market demand. In long run, with Plan B capability, Southeast Asia expansion is possible with over 100 billion of advertising expenditure awaiting ahead. So now let's visualize our story to the number. We give a revenue projection of 8.9% CAGR for the next 5 years, supported with a strong comeback in out-home advertising expenditure led by an increase in outdoor activity, with the higher contribution of engagement marketing to the empowerment of Thai soft power is expected to capture a massive inflow of tourists annually. Consequently, net profit margin will push forward from 13% to 16% by the year 2027, thanks to Plan B's efficient capital-intensive business model, create a higher degree of operating leverage, which was enhanced further to top-line growth by ability to create a pricing premium and bottom-line profit to the cost-saving program and cost synergy, which will also result in a better efficiency overall, as we project the utilization rate increase coding up to 71% of growing media capacity, driving fixed asset turnover to increase from 1.6 times to 2.4 times by next 5 years, support with the sales boost program to the bundle package and engagement marketing content. As a result, we Plan B have a strong balance sheet position, given high profitability, high operational liquidities, and low debt profile create a leverage opportunity for the future growth project. Now that we know Plan B is a good company, but it is a good investment.
Yes, story and number is the bridge of the good investment, supported by averaging 55-45 of the consolidated EV/EBIT multiples and sum of the part DCF to get the target price of 9.2 baht per share. Let's start with sum of the part DCF. We calculated the price per share across 3 businesses: media, sport, and artist management, where we forecast the revenue separately. For example, digital media revenue is derived from media capacity multiplied by media utilization rate. We use SWOT-adjusted market share as an explanatory variable to forecast the media capacity, while running a regression against out-of-home advertising expenditure to forecast the media utilization rate, which align with the management guidance. For engagement marketing revenue, is forecasted based on the contract agreement as well as incorporating the popularity of sport and artists from our team market survey. The following elements were forecasted to be in line with the sales. Bottom-up data was used to calculate it from different peer groups for different business nature and capital structures, resulting in the vary in the discount rate. We assume that all businesses will move towards Thai long-term GDP growth rate of 3%. Now we arrive at the DCF value of 9.45 baht per share. To support our DCF, the sensitivity analysis shows that even a significant change in the discount rate and terminal growth rate still guarantee an upside. For the other 55%, we use EV/EBIT multiple and get the implied price of 9 baht per share. Currently, Plan B is traded at the multiple level being lower than its historical average, a strong signal suggesting a buy. And after weighting both valuation methods, we get the target price of 9.2 baht per share. Now we know the stock is well valued. How about its risk management?
Starting with reduction in addicts from high inflation, which can be mitigated by launching superior worldwide strategies like bundle package or synchronization. And although the probability is quite high, the peak is already passed, as Thai economy is getting better, so it will take up to 133% rise in inflation to change recommendation to sell. And next, for the risk of global recession, which can impact the number of tourists incoming to Thailand, it can further impact the economy of Thailand and then the addicts forwards. However, this can be mitigated by quite similar example as I said before. However, it would take up to 76% fall in Thai GDP growth and 64% fall in tourist number to change recommendation to sell. And lastly, for the risk of lease contract being terminated by their landlords can be mitigated by pursuing long-term relationship with them and high negotiation power, which we already have, because this affects both ways of revenue and target price. As you can see, digital media is the most sensitive one. To complete our analysis, we ran 10,000 times simulation, suggesting 73% support to our buy recommendation, and a target price of 9.2 baht per share, and the upside of 21.05%. All of these with the underlying key catalysts of first, leadership in the industry. Second, strong balance sheet. Third, newest growth in engagement marketing. And fourth, ESG premium. And now we know that Plan B is the strongest to catch on. Now is the time for out of home. And from today is the era of Plan B. Thank you.
In one of your slides, your team did this survey to 800 participants to assess the responsive feedback of Plan B. Can you explain what kind of survey you have done? Who are the participants?
So we have an online survey sent through emails and sent through other communication platforms. We divided into two types of our respondents. First is the individuals. Second is the institutions or public firms. For individual, we draw the logarithm of the total time population to derive at almost 800 participants, respondents to reply our Google form, and then we sent email to around 63 public firms to answer our surveys.
Okay, I understand maybe the companies, they understand when they see a screen, they understand it belongs to Plan B. But for the individual that you select, how did you design the question to make the to get the answer you want? Because normal people working on the street maybe don't know which screen belongs to Plan B.
For example, we just want to ask and want to inquire which one is the most prominent screen, right? And we ask them, which one do you think is the most prominent in which area? And with the same answer in which area, we know that it is the rewards of Plan B.
Okay, maybe in your risk analysis, I didn't see any mention of the signboard tax. Do you see that as a potential issue in future if it's increasing, and how much would that impact Plan B?
Reward tax, right?
Yes.
Yes, there is a potential increase in reward tax from both starting reward and initial reward. However, if compared to other countries, there is a discussion that, like in Singapore, they do not want to increase the tax for the industries that are uplifting our economy. And in Thailand, out of home is one of the industries that are uplifting our economies. So we believe that while there is a potential of increasing tax, it might not happen in real time. And how it affects our valuation is that the tax would have to increase by over 100% to change our recommendation, because we can mitigate this by having the synergy from macro and aqua to reduce our cost of over 5,000 million baht in Thai and over 64% decrease in our minimum guarantee cost to be reduced to offset this increasing tax if it ever happens.
In terms of revenue projection, we project double-digit growth during the next 5 years. But it seems recently the utilization rate is coming back because of in the previous 2 years there's a pandemic, so they're growing very well this time. But how do you know in the next 3 to 5 years we double-digit growth? Because our whole industry, a media industry, is growing like low single digits.
So our revenue forecast were projected based on both our home media and engagement marketing, while we foresee that our home media were still growing together with the industry growth of advertising expenditure that grew by 15%. However, we are conservative with our projection, so we give a revenue projection of our home at only 10%. But together with the new S-curve driving by the engagement marketing, where we expect the contribution from 20% up to 30% contribution to the engagement marketing revenue from the revolution of the boxing and the rebound back to the peak of Thai Football League.
Do you have a historical growth of the media industry?
Yes.
Is it 15% growth?
So during the pre-COVID level, it were growing at 10% growth, but it bounced back after the COVID times, and people are now spending more on out-of-home advertising as people spend more time outside of their home over the pre-COVID level from 5 to 6 hours to 6 to 7 hours nowadays. And it's more tempting to use advertising out of home.
since you're projecting this revenue growth, it can have an operating leverage. So like, do you have a cost breakdown? How much cost saving it could have? What are the fixed costs and the variable costs?
Yes, we do have. Can you please go to the operating cost breakdown slide, please? For the operating expense breakdown, we conclude that the most of the cost components are maintenance expense, which are fixed, and with our estimation in the revenue growth, and due to the companies has high maintenance cost, and with the synergy from Aqua and Marco after acquiring their assets, it can reduce some of the fixed cost, which is the rent expense, as well as the maintenance expense for some overlapping billboards.
Why would the rent cost could be reduced further instead of increased?
Because in some area where the billboard is overlapping with Macro, Aqua, and Plan B, they can select which billboards to keep and which one to write off to save this rent expense. And with Plan B being the market leader, they have the negotiation power over the landlords, and the rent expense will be reduced.
For their the lease term, how long is the lease term, and when they expire, usually do you project the rent will increase in future every time when they renegotiate?
For the rent contract terms, it is ranging from 3 years to 30 years, and the rent expense is fixed, and Plan B holds the first right to renew the contract with the landlords.
And every time when they renew, do you project the rent will increase?
We expect that the rent expense will increase based on the inflation of Thailand. Thank you.
Okay. And for the on the revenue side, their pricing power in terms of how much they charge their clients compared with other competitors, how is it? Is it higher or is it in line?
For the pricing power, we estimate the pricing power for Plan B to be in line with the industry, and we use the historical average price that they charge the customer and make it grow at the same rate as the inflation. But we also expect that in the future, with Plan B's capability to have the synchronization and bundle package, they can create a pricing power even more. And in the future, if the media utilization rate reach to around 80%, Plan B can also increase the price to charge to their customers, because the demand is coming up from the pent-up demand in the past, and people lower their advertising budget. Thank you.
Why have you picked the SOTP valuation method and also EBITDA to blend the DCF model?
For some of the part valuation method we selected because Plan B has many cross-holding companies and they have very different business nature. For example, they have media and sport, and then the marketing, the engagement marketing, which three of these possess different cash flow, growth, and risk. Therefore, we use some of the part method to represent this, and we select some of the part EV/EBIT multiple to make sure that our estimation have already taken into the account of pure operating performance of the company, as they have the high maintenance expense, so we cannot ignore that. And with our target price of 9.2 baht per share.
In addition to that, we pick EV/EBIT multiple because we foresee that depreciation as a direct cost is important more than we can foresee overlook it. So if we include the depreciation into the multiple, it would be inflate our value and would be overlook the importance of this cost.
You have a lot of peers here. Do you have some table to show what kind of multiple they are trading at?
For the peers, right, we have different peer groups for different business, media peers and sport peers, and as well as the engagement market.
I understand, but do you have what kind of valuation the peers are trading at right now?
Can you show us the media here,
Yes.
for example?
Can you go to the ratio of comparing peers, please?
For the media peers, the most important peers used to be VGI, right? But right now VGI is coming one of our one of our shareholders, and they list us to have the right to organize or offer the bundle package in the product for the BTS. And so it means that the peer that still be our direct peer now is only the local competitor for the media industries.